Allow him to blow the whistle. Civil rights organization seeks more details of Honorable Jibrin's expose on the National Assembly as a suspended lawmaker speaks on the allegations of corruption in the House of Representatives. And the Honorable Jibrin's whistleblowing activities brings again to the fore the controversy over allowances, take-home pay and other funds which goes into the federal lawmaker and the two chambers, of course, especially as the nation is in recession. The question is, our federal lawmakers are burden to the nation, and that's our focus on the program. Many thanks for joining in, everyone. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. It's fast-paced, and so you need to stay with us. Don't forget, we are live right now on Facebook. So it means that you can also view us as we speak on your Facebook. An interesting part of the whole matter is that you get to be able to watch us, interact, and be part of the conversation. Let's know what you make of the matter we shall be discussing on the program. And that's aside the fact that whenever you're far away from your TV set, you can also watch us on your mobile devices. Just go to m.channelstv.com on your computer. Before we dive now into the major issue of the day, let's bring you, let's check out some of the top political stories we're following right now.
Political roundup on Channels Television. Yeah, on your top political stories this time.
Call them unlikely companions, and you may just be saying the truth. These two governors are from the opposing political fronts, but as the saying goes, politics makes strange bedfellows. They say the reason the governor of Osun State is visiting the neighboring Ekiti state is for regional cooperation and integration. And considering that Mr. Fayose is a strong critic of the APC government, the alliance in itself is a very interesting one.
In terms of regional integration, coming together, we ought to come together. But we don't have to come together as one party in Southwest Nigeria.
And Mr. Aregbesola strongly holds the view that integration, especially at such a critical time in Nigeria, is needed to help drive the economy of the Southwest region.
If you all combine and work together, there is superficial, not only for our region, but for Nigeria as well.
The federal government says it wants to fine-tune the nation's electoral law, and in light of this, the Attorney General's office has constituted an electoral reform committee. The committee is to be headed by former Senate President Ken Namani and says its work is not an imitation of the Justice Uwais Committee, but an improvement in it. Senator Ken Namani pointed out today in Abuja that President Muhammadu Buhari is determined to turn around the nation's electoral system and reduce the prevalence of rigging and violence. Meanwhile, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, said the 24-man panel was carefully selected from across board, and it should, among other things, enthrone transparency to come up with implementable recommendations. The committee has been given 10 weeks to submit its report.
We're expected to take a hard look at what we consider the best practices.
The unity of the nation is not negotiable, and our numbers is our strength. Those are the thoughts of the Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed at a meeting with some religious leaders. The governor urged Nigerians to see the prevailing recession in the national economy as the best opportunity for self and national discovery.
When you are in a recession, this is when you can rediscover yourself, take advantage of your strength, forget about the advances, and then move on as a country.
And you're up to date. Those are your top political stories you need to know.
Thank you so much for staying with us, everyone. Again, let's begin tonight in Ondo State, just as we did yesterday in Southwest Nigeria, where we are following the controversy in the All Progressives Congress APC over the emergence of Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, the flag bearer of the APC. Some people have asked for the sack of the party national chairman in the aftermath of the party's primary. The man whom we understand visited the president at the villa to seek audience with President Muhammadu Buhari. Supporters of Mr. Abraham today took to the street to protest the outcome of the party primary in Ondo State, condemning the role played by the chairman, Chief Oyegun, And from Ondo State, now let's switch the page now to Edo State, where protesters also have trailed the outcome of the last Wednesday election, where Mr. Godwin Obaseki of the APC emerged as the governor-elect. Protesters and supporters of the PDP are unhappy with the results of the exercise, but the APC and the PDP are in war of words over the matter.
The party have not done any protest. What you are seeing on the streets are probably people that feel that their mandates have been stolen one way or the other. As a political party, we have not organized protests. If we organize a protest, the whole country will hear about it, the whole world will hear about it. A lot of revelations have been made, and at the appropriate time, our lawyers shall file a case at the tribunal and also try to get back the mandate that was stolen.
So would they ever expect that PDP should be able to even garner 50,000 votes across the state? And so that they got it shows that we still need a lot of serious work to do. That to us is of more serious concern than the grumbling that they are having. But I also salute the governorship candidate of PDP for coming out to warn his people against violence. And so once there is no violence, you cannot complain about protest. It's expected.
And now, let me remind you of what happened yesterday. The two men you'll be seeing right on your screen sat beside each other, and the body language of the two men tells the story. There you go. You see the party chairman of the APC and a leader of the party. There you go. These two men for several hours sat beside each other, and you can see the body language tells the story. Now, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress today, Mr. John Oyego, dismissed the rift between himself and the party leader, Bola Tinubu, as mere differences in opinion and perception. He says that he has no plans to resign as the party chairman, for which he says the procedure is specified in the party constitution. Mr. Oyego will fielded questions after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa on Tuesday. Said that despite the harsh way in which the statement attributed to Tinubu was expressed, his association and relationship with the party leader goes way back and cannot be out of question. He also denied involvement in the protest by some youths at the party's headquarters against Tinubu for alleged high-handedness, saying it would investigate the matter to find out who is behind it. The national chairman says the party's National Executive Council will hold a meeting at the appropriate time over matters arising. Well, now, everyone, let's move into a major story of the day. For several weeks now, suspended member of the House of Representatives and a former chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, Honorable Abdulmumin Jibrin, has been speaking about what he says is a huge corruption in the National Assembly, with much attention in the House of Representatives, the lower chamber. He spoke in an exclusive interview with Channels Television several weeks ago of how some leaders of the House allegedly padded the 2016 budget, inserting projects into the budget. The Kano lawmaker has entered into trouble with his colleagues who feel he has brought the House into disrepute by some of his utterances. Again, Honorable Jibrin is speaking more. This time around, he says he will speak about some of the things he said are mind-boggling corruption and fraudulent manner in which public funds are used in the House. Yesterday in Abuja, while speaking to bloggers and journalists, Mr. Jibrin has yet a lot to say about the institution he currently serves. Well, let's take a listen to some of what he has said.
In the next few days, I'll be talking in a more in-depth manner how investigative hearings are used to perpetuate corruption in the House, and then how oversight are also used to perpetuate corruption in the House. Then also, you can imagine, isn't it ridiculous? 360 members, nobody has the internal budget of the House, copies. There is nothing I did not do with Dogara. We did not do with Dogara to release the internal budget of the House. There's none, these are facts. He should come out in the night and just say Jibrin is lying. I've been saying this thing for 8 weeks. He hasn't come out to talk. Then yet again you sit down and say, we've passed a motion, we want to start oversight of the 2016 budget. The budget of the National Assembly, you've not released it. And members cannot talk. Why? Systemic blackmail. They've swallowed allowances. So you cannot talk. Even though they are not unhappy about the situation. But the leadership always use that as a blackmail to hold them home.
Okay. Meanwhile, a rights group, SERAP, a Socio-Economy Rights Accountability Project, has asked that Mr. Jibrin should come forward with more details on the issue he has raised. They're calling him a whistleblower now, who needs to be protected and supported to expose the corruption in the legislative system. SERAP says, and I quote now, SERAP knows that freedom of expression is a constitutional and internationally recognized human right in Nigeria, and the country has enacted the Freedom of Information Act, which grants Nigerians the right to seek and receive information such as the information about the massive corruption in the House of Representatives being disclosed by Mr. Abdulmumin Jibrin. SERAP went further to say SERAP believes that whistleblowing is very important in deterring and preventing corruption and in strengthening democratic accountability and transparency in the country in general. Whistleblowing is indeed a fundamental aspect of freedom of expression and freedom of conscience, and is important in tackling gross mismanagement of our commonwealth. End of quote. Well, now let's get perspectives into this matter. Joining us to discuss this is a legal practitioner and a policy analyst, Mr. Curtis Adiba, joins me in the studio now. Many thanks for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
We've been following this scenario, and a few times you've had to come and discuss this issue being raised by Mr. Jibrin, and one will wonder, is he speaking because he has been suspended, or one should just take away the message that he's bringing forth? Because a lot of people will wonder, well, it looks so much like there's corruption in the House, maybe with some of the allegations he has been bringing forward. But what do you make of these allegations, the message he's been bringing forward?
First and foremost, I think the allegations are momentous. They're very big. And I want to say clearly that a lot of people have imputed motives to what Jibrin is doing. But I think if we tell ourselves the truth in this country, the fact is that many of us, many Nigerians believe that there is something going on in the National Assembly, but they cannot put a finger to it because nobody knows the salaries and the allowances of these members. And this is an issue that should be in public domain. This is a subject matter that should be in public domain. You don't even have to be an American to know how much a senator in the United States earns. You don't even need to be an American to know how much a House member in America earns. Okay, the salaries are there on the internet. Just a click of the button and you are home and dry. So why are these issues so very secretive in this country? Two key elements of a thriving democracy: accountability and transparency. And this is the problem. If you look at the Constitution, it's very clear as to what happens to the remuneration and salaries of National Assembly member. This is what the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission should be facing. Okay? But the National Assembly members say they're not going to accept that.
Okay. Then we take a moment, and when we return, more on the whistleblowing and how much our lawmakers earn. We'll expose that to you tonight on the program. Join us again.